The Galactic Council buzzed with the usual chatter of 100 different alien species. Held in the Grand Hall of the Citadel, the meeting was a spectacle of lights, colors, and sounds from across the galaxy. Representatives mingled, discussing politics, trade, and, as usual, the latest gossip about humanity. "Have you heard the latest about the humans?" scoffed Zelgar, a towering Tharxian with a carapace that shimmered under the artificial sunlight. "They still use combustion engines. How primitive can you get?" A chorus of laughter followed. Across the hall, Vera, a sleek Ariatan with luminescent scales, chimed in. "I heard they just figured out how to harness fusion power. Took them long enough." The mockery was a common theme. Humans were the newcomers to the galactic stage, having only recently joined the Council. Their technology, while rapidly advancing, was still far behind that of most other species, or so everyone thought. Hidden in the shadows of the Grand Hall, a small human delegation listened quietly. Ambassador Jane Harris, a seasoned diplomat, glanced at her colleagues. "Let them laugh," she whispered, a faint smile on her lips. "They have no idea what's coming." The meeting began with the usual formalities, presided over by Chancellor Zorvac, an ancient and wise being of the Luminar species. His voice, deep and resonant, filled the hall. "Today we address the topic of technological parity and its implications for interstellar relations." As the discussions progressed, the human delegation remained silent, their expressions unreadable. Harris exchanged a knowing look with Dr. Marcus Patel, the chief scientist behind their latest project. Finally, it was time for the technological showcase, a session where species demonstrated their latest advancements. The Tharxians went first, unveiling a new type of energy shield. The Ariatans followed with a breakthrough in bioengineering. Each presentation was met with awe and admiration. When it was humanity's turn, the laughter resumed. "What have the humans brought this time?" someone jeered. "A new type of wheel?" Harris stepped forward, her demeanor calm and confident. "We have something special to show today," she said, her voice carrying across the hall. She tapped a device on her wrist, and the room's lights dimmed. A hush fell over the crowd as a faint shimmer appeared in the center of the hall. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, the shimmer grew more defined, until a sleek black ship materialized before their eyes. The aliens stared in stunned silence. "This," Harris announced, "is the USS Phantom, our latest stealth ship. It has been observing this meeting from within your very chamber, undetected until now." Gasps and murmurs filled the hall. The ship was unlike anything they had seen from humanity before. Elegant, advanced, and utterly silent. The jokes and jabs died in their throats, replaced by a newfound respect. As the ship fully decloaked, Harris allowed herself a small, triumphant smile. "Shall we proceed with the demonstration?" she asked, already knowing the answer. The silence in the Grand Hall was thick, almost palpable, as the USS Phantom hovered before the Galactic Council. Aliens who moments ago were mocking humans now stared in astonishment. The Phantom was a marvel of engineering, with sleek lines and an aura of power and sophistication that demanded respect. Ambassador Harris let the moment stretch, enjoying the stunned expressions around her. "We call it the Phantom for a reason," she said. "Its cloaking technology is based on principles we've only recently mastered, allowing it to remain undetected by even the most advanced sensors." Dr. Patel stepped forward, his excitement barely contained. "What you see here is the culmination of years of research and development," he began. "The Phantom's hull is composed of a new alloy that not only renders it invisible to most detection methods, but also absorbs energy from incoming attacks, converting it into power for the ship." Zelgar, who had mocked humans earlier, now raised a mandible in inquiry. "But how is this possible? Our best scientists have struggled with such technology for decades." Patel smiled. "We had help," he said cryptically. "We've been quietly collaborating with a few open-minded members of the Council who saw potential in our advancements. Their insights were invaluable." Vera, the Ariatan, looked intrigued. "And what do you intend to do with this technology?" she asked. "Surely it's not just for show." Harris nodded. "Indeed. We believe in peaceful exploration and mutual defense. The Phantom is a tool for ensuring the safety of our allies and ourselves. We propose a new alliance, one where humanity can contribute to the collective security and prosperity of the galaxy. The room buzzed with conversation as council members debated the implications. Some were impressed, seeing the potential benefits of such an alliance. Others were wary, fearing the shift in power dynamics. Chancellor Zorvac raised a hand, calling for silence. "We must consider this proposal carefully," he said. "An alliance with humanity could bring great benefits, but also new challenges. I suggest we convene a special session to discuss the terms and conditions." As the council members filed out, still buzzing with the revelation, Harris turned to Patel. "I think that went well," she said. Patel nodded. "Better than expected. They're taking us seriously now." Back in their quarters, the human delegation reviewed the day's events. "We've shown them what we're capable of," Harris said. "Now we need to leverage this momentum. Our next step is to outline the benefits of the alliance in detail." "Agreed," Patel said, "and we should be prepared for resistance. Not everyone will be on board with this." Harris smiled. "Let them come. We've just shown the galaxy that humanity is not to be underestimated." As the humans planned their next move, the USS Phantom silently docked in the Council's secure hangar, a symbol of humanity's unexpected leap into the future. The tides were turning, and the galaxy would never be the same. The special session of the Galactic Council began with an air of anticipation. The council chamber was packed with representatives, each eager to hear more about humanity's proposition. The Phantom's dramatic reveal had sparked widespread curiosity, and now it was time to see if humans could back up their impressive display with meaningful plans. Ambassador Harris stood at the center of the chamber, facing the assembled council members. "Thank you for giving us this opportunity," she began. "Today, we propose a strategic alliance that will benefit all species within this council. Humanity is prepared to share our advancements in stealth and defense technology with those who join us." A murmur ran through the crowd. Sharing such advanced technology was a significant offer, but some remained skeptical. "We've seen your ship," Zelgar said, his tone measured, "but how do we know this isn't just a ploy to gain influence? What assurances can you provide that this alliance will be equitable?" Dr. Patel stepped forward. "Our proposal includes a comprehensive technology sharing agreement. We will provide the schematics and training necessary for other species to develop their own stealth ships. In return, we seek collaboration on scientific research and mutual defense initiatives." Vera leaned forward, her luminescent scales catching the light. "And what of the potential threats? If your technology falls into the wrong hands, it could be used against us." Harris nodded. "A valid concern. We have developed stringent security protocols to ensure that our technology is protected. Additionally, our alliance would include a joint task force to monitor and prevent the misuse of shared advancements." The room buzzed with conversation as council members weighed the offer. Chancellor Zorvac called for order. "We will now hear from those in favor of the alliance." A representative from the Rylothan species, known for their strategic acumen, stood up. "Humanity's offer is unprecedented. By sharing their technology, they demonstrate a commitment to mutual growth and security. I believe this alliance could usher in a new era of cooperation and advancement." Others voiced their support, citing the potential benefits of enhanced defense capabilities and collaborative research. However, not everyone was convinced. "We must be cautious," said a stern-faced Warlaxian. "Rapid technological sharing can disrupt the balance of power. We need safeguards to ensure this alliance does not lead to unintended consequences." Harris listened intently. "We understand the need for caution. That is why we propose a phased approach. Initial sharing will be limited to defensive technologies, with further advancements shared as trust and cooperation grow." After hours of debate, Chancellor Zorvac called for a vote. The tension in the room was palpable as each representative cast their decision. When the final tally was announced, the alliance was approved by a narrow margin. "We have reached a historic decision," Zorvac declared. "The Galactic Council will enter into an alliance with humanity. Together, we will work towards a future of shared prosperity and security." The human delegation breathed a collective sigh of relief. They had done it. As the session adjourned, Harris turned to Patel with a smile. "This is just the beginning," she said. Over the next weeks, detailed agreements were hammered out. Humans began training teams from allied species on the new technologies, while scientists from across the galaxy flocked to Earth to collaborate on joint research projects. The council chamber, once filled with skepticism, now buzzed with excitement and optimism. The first joint task force, comprised of ships from multiple species, was soon deployed on a peacekeeping mission, showcasing the strength of the new alliance. As humanity's role in the galaxy grew, so did the respect and trust of their new allies. But not everyone was pleased. In the shadows, dissenting factions plotted their next move, unwilling to accept the shifting power dynamics. Humanity's greatest challenge was yet to come. The first signs of trouble emerged on the fringes of council space. Unexplained disappearances, sabotage of newly established research stations, and whispers of a rogue faction determined to undermine the alliance. The Galactic Council, now united with humanity, prepared to face this new threat head-on. In a secure briefing room aboard the USS Phantom, the leaders of the newly formed alliance gathered. Ambassador Harris, Dr. Patel, and representatives from the Rylithan, Ariatan, and Tharxian species studied the latest reports. "It seems we underestimated the extent of the opposition," Harris said, her expression grim. "We've identified several groups that are actively working to destabilize the alliance. They fear the changes we represent." Zelgar, who had once mocked humanity, now stood as one of their staunchest allies. "We need a coordinated response," he said. "These factions must not be allowed to undermine what we've built." Patel nodded in agreement. "Our intelligence suggests that these groups are well organized and funded. We need to cut off their resources and root out their leaders." Vera added, "We should also consider outreach. Some of these groups might be swayed if we address their concerns directly. Showing them the benefits of our alliance could win over moderates and isolate the extremists." The plan was set into motion. A fleet of ships, each representing a different species in the alliance, set out to confront the rogue factions. The USS Phantom led the charge, using its advanced stealth capabilities to gather crucial intelligence. On a remote moon, the task force discovered a hidden base. The rogue factions had gathered there, planning their next move. Harris and Patel led a team to negotiate, hoping to avoid unnecessary bloodshed. As they approached the base, a tense silence filled the air. The base's defenses loomed ahead, but the Alliance's ships held their position, a show of strength tempered with restraint. A delegation from the rogue factions emerged to meet them. Their leader, a stern-faced Martian named Krell, eyed the Alliance representatives warily. "Why should we trust you?" he demanded. "Your alliance threatens our way of life." Harris stepped forward, her voice calm but firm. "We understand your fears, Krell, but this alliance is about mutual respect and shared prosperity. We offer a future where all species can thrive, not just a select few." Krell's eyes narrowed. "And if we refuse?" Patel spoke up. "Then we will defend our allies in the peace we've built. But we hope it doesn't come to that. We believe there's a place for everyone in this new era." A tense silence followed. Krell and his advisors conferred quietly before he finally spoke. "We'll consider your offer. But know this, if you betray us, we'll fight to the last." Harris nodded. "We wouldn't expect anything less. We'll be waiting for your decision." The delegation returned to the USS Phantom, the outcome uncertain but hopeful. Back in the council chamber, news of the negotiations spread. Some factions agreed to join the alliance, swayed by the promise of peace and prosperity. Others remained defiant, but their numbers dwindled. The alliance continued to strengthen, with joint missions promoting understanding and cooperation among the different species. Humanity's role as a key player in galactic politics was solidified, their technological advancements and diplomatic efforts earning them respect and trust. As the threat of the rogue factions diminished, the alliance began to focus on other challenges, exploring uncharted regions of space, addressing environmental issues on member planets, and fostering cultural exchange programs. The Grand Hall of the Citadel, once filled with skepticism and mockery, now echoed with the sounds of collaboration and friendship. Humanity had not only proved their worth, but had also become a beacon of hope and progress in the galaxy. In a private moment, Harris and Patel stood on the observation deck of the Phantom, looking out at the stars. "We've come a long way," Harris said. Patel nodded. "And there's still so much more to do, but for now we've shown the galaxy what humanity is capable of." Harris smiled. "And we've only just begun." As the USS Phantom sailed through the stars, its cloaking device shimmering into activation, it symbolized the dawn of a new era. An era where humanity and its allies stood together, ready to face whatever the universe had